If you're bored dancing West Coast Swing, this is the video for you. I'm going to give you my best tips and tricks from a leaders and followers perspective to make your dances more interesting and less boring. My name is Brian B.
I'm Miss Megan.
From West Coast Swing Online. We live here in Louisville, Kentucky, if you didn't know. So let's talk about things that make us bored as leaders. If you're like me, leaders, you have 8 patterns and that's all you have in your brain at one time. So the question is, how can I go through a dance and make it more interesting without having to learn or remember more patterns? And a friend of mine, one of our students, said that I changed his life when I told him that you can dance all of your patterns from the opposite handhold, right? I can dance all of these patterns if I do a right side pass. I just made that up as we go. Just by changing to my right hand, I can do the inside turn with my right hand and maybe it ends up behind my head. I can do maybe a reverse whip from the opposite hand. So try different handholds. Try everything you know from a different handhold. I'm trying to think if I do a whip with an outside turn with the opposite hand. So that's number one, just try a different handhold. Number 2 is my favorite way to not get bored, and that's take what you know. And I'm gonna use a reverse whip and make this up on the spot. If I know a reverse whip, what I want to know are all of the variations of a reverse whip. So that way I have one branch of a tree in my brain, but I have endless variations. So I can do a reverse whip with an inside turn. I can learn that there's a reverse whip with an inside turn that goes with that hand. I can learn that there's a reverse whip with an outside turn. I can learn that there's a reverse whip with a double outside turn. I can learn that there's a reverse whip from the other hand. We call this a kissing whip as it's close to Valentine's Day. I can do the reverse whip with the opposite hand with a double outside turn. So take a move that you know and learn all the variations you can off that. That way, every time I get to that reverse whip, I have easier and harder versions to do, and it keeps me from getting bored. Number 3 is I can just simply use a rock and go. I can do everything sugar push, but use a rock and go to create new moves. So I just have to understand that. If you want to see that rock and go video and how that works, we go into a deep dive here. And then finally, just use the same moves and stop occasionally. Stop occasionally. I can do a whip and I can just stop on count 5. And I can do this, 3, and I can just stop and not even anchor step, and then we bleed. So just stop occasionally. Yeah, I do sugar tucks all the time where I just get bored and I just get into this endless loop and I just kind of hang out here. Just stopping. Great. Eats up some time. It's less of the same. Megan, you have nothing to share on moves because you don't get to choose those when we dance.
I don't get to choose.
But maybe on number 2, styling, you can add some, what keeps you bored from being bored?
Anchor styling, adding some angles, mainly for me on my anchors, but you can do it throughout your dance too.
And syncopation. So you want to have a few things you can do with your, what do we say first, footwork. Anchor styling. Go for it.
So you can change your anchor. For me on right side passes, I really like to go in front just because I'm already angled that direction to make that easy. But you can go to the side, you can go back, you can do sweeps.
So having something to do with your footwork, same thing, just on the anchor steps, right? We can go side and together, we can go behind and together, we can go behind and together, we can go forward and together. We can do opposite things where she goes forward and I go back. It doesn't matter. But just watch a video on anchor styling, pick up something, and that way all through your dance you can work on anchor styling. Same thing, Megan talked about angles. Talk to me about angles, Miss Megan.
So if you're just doing a sugar push, which can be pretty boring, you can angle this, and you can also change your footwork there, but you can angle it and still have a good compression, and it just changes it up a little bit.
So by angles, instead of dancing square, we're going to come off that wall a little bit, instead of everything being square, I can start to change. Let's say I do 1, 2. I go 1, 2, and I change the angle, and that might change how the pattern feels. Does that make sense? So change your angles. And finally, you can learn some syncopations. You can do hitches on your 1, 2. You can go hitch, ball, change, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, hitch, ball change, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Megan's already varying her anchor. So try to come up with some syncopations. You can dance, instead of 3 and, you can dance and 3. Don't do it all the time, but I'll do this a lot. Right side passes, I'll go 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Or I could do 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6. I can change that. Now that's going to make the most sense when, number 3, you use some musicality so you can accent, let's say, the 1s and the 5s or the phrase changes in the music. We're going to talk deep dive about musicality in a second. But to keep from being bored, I can dance along and I can hit accents in the music. I can be dancing my patterns and I can just stop them at points in the music to keep them more interesting. Now, if you want to dig into our #1 key for musicality, we call it counting straight 8s. I call it the key to musicality, and we did a video on it right here you can download. And if you want to dig into the top 10 techniques that will make you great on the social dance floor, you want to watch this video up here. We'll see you guys on a dance floor, and I hope you're not bored soon.